This just in. It's time for the wrestling show to take a very cynical look back at representing the WWE and live from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. It's Friday Night SmackDown. Air date November the 24th, 2023. This episode is the night before the premium live event, which is Survivor Series, home of War Games. So, let's go in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Lip really loves wrestling. He likes to talk about it too. If you like to watch wrestling like he do, come and join us on the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. Baby! Well, welcome to the Wrestling Show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and this is a very cynical look back at the latest episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we dive into the big show, just a quick shout out to the non-competitors. As you know, they are the glue that holds the building together. First, it's the general manager. We all know him as Mr. Mickey James, Nick Aldis. Next, getting all the pre-match interviews and all the backstage scoops, we got ourselves Caleb Braxton. And heading into the ring, letting everybody know who's about to fight and the results of such matches, it's Mike Rome. And most importantly, it's the commentary crew, the play-by-play guys, the hosts, and I even call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They are the team. Now they're back to their basics again. Not really basics, but coming back from maternity leave or something, not really that, but it's kind of like that. Now, he was off for the past 2 weeks, tending to his wife and brand new baby, but back again. Now, I call him, he is the impeccably styled and extremely handsome. He is a very reliable Corey Graves. Next to Corey is, of course, he refers to him as KP, but we all know him as a very enthusiastic Kevin Patrick. And finally, the longtime veteran of well over 25 years and still going strong, it's Michael Cole. Now, without any further ado-dos, let's get on with the show. And we start off with, now this one here. No, first of all, before we even start, who is missing from today's show? First and foremost, the United States champion. The United States champion, Logan Paul. So it's no surprise that he's not going to be there. He's not there today. He's not going to be there for a long time. He's going to be there for maybe, he's going to show, I believe Logan Paul's going to show himself in SmackDown maybe once or twice a year. You know, so he's in no hurry to be there because he's not a WWE full-timer. He's not even a part-timer. He's a some-timer. Anyways, he's the new United States champion. And who else is not there? Why, it's Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. But that's not any doubt. I think there's something seriously wrong with Roman Reigns. Either two things with Roman. He's extremely lazy or he's fighting leukemia again. And it's a tough thing to say because he battled it and he beat it, but is it back? We can only assume it is, because we don't want to think that he's a lazy son of a bitch. Okay, now with that said, all the harshness and all, let's move on to the show. And we start off with the build-up to Survivor Series, War Games, that is. So we got the team, Becky Lynch's team. I guess this is Becky Lynch's team now. Because she seems like she's the boss. She wants to be the boss, the man. Anyways, regardless, that's me bitching some more. Anyways, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Shotzi. They're all in the ring. They're opening up the show. You know, Becky Lynch opens up the show because she thinks she's the leader of everybody. Is she right? Is she wrong? Who knows? Anyways, they all talk about the War Games and damage control. And speaking of damage control, we got ourselves the leader of the ambassador, at least, of damage control, is Bayley. You know, the most curvaceous woman on SmackDown. Looking absolutely sexy as usual. With her full Chris Jericho hairdo. Looking good. Anyways, enough with how I think Bayley looks. She comes down there and she's setting up everything for Charlotte, for Survivor Series, you know. I talked about when she's alone with Becky Lynch or when she's alone with Charlotte Flair back in the days. The only thing they could say are backstabbing things to each other. Behind each other's backs, Becky to Charlotte, Charlotte to Becky. Lots of talk, basically. So the thing is, this team's going to implode, self-implode. So here's the thing. Becky Lynch, she pops and chimes in there and she talks about she wants a fight. She's here to fight. And she wants a tag team match for the main event tonight. 2-on-2, any two of you, two of us. So that's going to be interesting. So we go backstage. It's Bayley meeting up with the Damage Control, rest of the team. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. And it is true. The translator is Dakota Kai, apparently, because she's the only one that understands Japanese. They can translate it, apparently, according to the storyline. And Bayley coming back there, and she wants to put together a tag team to fight, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. So Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair are going to be tag teaming, apparently. And who's going to fight? It's going to be the Kabuki Warriors again, because they're going to put them back together, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Or it's going to be Asuka and Io Sky. But apparently, you have the translator, Dakota Kai, translated Io Sky's words into how about you fight? Because obviously, Dakota Kai's not going to fight. I don't think she's going to fight until at least 2025. Anyways, she's just there filling space. So yeah, I guess it's this. It is what it is. It's going to be the very sexy Bayley with Asuka versus Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch for the main event for tonight. But right now this night here, all the wrestling matches had something in common. They were all tag team matches. Fantastic tag team matches. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun tonight. The first tag team match of the night was for the championship titles. That's right. The Judgment Day. It's Finn Balor and Damien Priest, your reigning and defending champions. And with them, escorting them to the ring, it is the Den Mother, Rhea Ripley. So they're out there. And versus, of course, now the Street Profits won a number one contendership match. And now it's Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, chomping at the bit to get that belt once again. Now, this one's Friday Night SmackDown. They could have waited another day to make this a huge one, but they have other things to do on Survivor Series, so that ain't happening. So they got to get this match out of the way. Just sweep the Profits under the rugs. So now, here's the thing. Watching backstage, or you might think it's backstage. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's pre-recorded another day when they're just watching something that looks like a TV set, but it's actually a green screen TV set. They could have done this anytime. So it's Bobby Lashley, instead of out there with his team, one of the most important match of their lives, part of the Hurt Business 2.0. And where is Bobby Lashley? Backstage somewhere with B-Fab, getting friendly with B-Fab. Bobby Lashley. Wow, where his mind's at? Not getting gold, apparently. Getting lucky. Bobby Lashley, really? Priorities, man. Priorities. And that's why you're not the champion. You haven't been the champion in forever. Forever. And there's no sign ahead you becoming champion again. No sign. So yeah, where are your priorities at, Bobby Lashley? So speaking of that, we go back into the ring there. It was a good match. It was a good, fun match because you know what? Here's the thing. Tag ropes, they simply don't matter. It just does not matter in WWE. Now, Street Profits tag, they use tag ropes, but when one team decides not to use them, it's just like, come on now, this is ridiculous. Tag ropes don't work. Let's just take them out, like Ring of Honor. Take them out, replace them with a color-coordinated ring. You got to stand it. It's ridiculous. So anyways, they have a move here. Huge move. The Street Profits, it is the electric chair drop. Angelo Dawkins has, I believe it's a Finn Balor on top there. And then, Montez Ford right off the top rope. Huge blockbuster. It was massive. Then the match goes on. The Judgment Day has an opportunity to pin Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins breaks up that pin. Breaks up that very pin. But it's right after that. the Street Profits hit their finishing move on Damien Priest, and as Finn Balor has a break, come in there and break the pin. That's a lot of running in there. Now, this match was a lot of fun. You know, rules, what rules? So we got a moment here where Montez Ford, he puts down Damien Priest, and he goes up for a massive frog splash or some sort of move off the top rope. So he climbs, he goes to the ropes there, and Rhea Ripley finds she's on the wrong side of the ring. Wrong side of the ring. So she has to hustle, run to the other side of the ring, and jump on the ring apron to cause a distraction to the referee. Referee turns his back on everything and tells Rhea Ripley, step off the apron. And then it's Finn Balor, he picks the leg off Montez Ford. He just drops off the top rope there. Then here's one hell of a move. Now, Damien Priest. He's a strange fella. He's a strange fella. Now, first of all, his wrestling gear. His tunic, he's got this shirt on, his wrestling shirt, and he's got this peekaboo spot right in his chest. If he had breasts, that's where you can see a little bit of cleavage. A guy wearing a peekaboo cleavage breast, shirt, it's kind of weird. Secondly, he does the move, his setup move for Finn Balor. He picks you up for a tombstone pile driver. So he's basically, I call it, it's called the minor 69er, because he 69s your opponent and then drops on you. He just falls forward. It is weird. Is Damien Priest's weird moves. So he tags out in minor 69ers. I believe Montez Ford. And then it's Finn Balor with the massive coup de grace finishing match. And in 9.5 minutes, it is over. It was a lot of fun. And that's it. Moving on, we go backstage. It is with team Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, they're not on the same page, clearly. But they gotta get on the same page. You know, they got history and stuff like that. And Bianca Belair is trying to be the voice of reason. You know, Bianca Belair clearly knows how to turn the other cheek, because she's done that with just about everybody. You know. So with that, we go backstage with a little vignette of one of the greatest out there right now. I got it hands down. He's one of the greats, truly one of the greats. It's Dragon Lee. And why? Why is Dragon Lee so great? Maybe because it's his amazing work ethic, probably. Now, Dragon Lee, he says there's expectations of his lineage. That the fact that good enough is not enough. And he's right. He's right. You can be good enough to get to the stage, but that's just not enough to get you to the next level, to become a champion. To be there is one thing. To become a champion is another thing. And Dragon Lee's got that straight. He says, you know what? It's you have to have basically, I'm going to paraphrase. You got to have a strong mind and a strong heart. You got to that combined, it equals success. And Dragon Lee, he's moving mountains. He was in the NXT for a hot minute. Because you know what? He's too good for the NXT. He's already surpassed that. So he's right on there. Right on to the SmackDown. So yeah. Got some good messages. Dragon Lee. One of my faves. He's a great wrestler. Great wrestler. You know? I mean, the proof's in the pudding. When you watch him wrestling, it's there. He can fight nobodies. He can fight the absolute nobodies, and he can make him a great match. Because he cares about the wrestling. And that's very important. Okay, moving on to, we got ourselves some, a little bit of the, Grayson Waller effect with Grayson Waller. And Grayson Waller's guest today is, And coming out is the most fit Kevin Owens has ever looked, because it wasn't Kevin Owens. It was Austin Theory in Kevin Owens gear. So they come out there, they start making fun of Kevin Owens, whatnot, and then Kevin Owens makes his entrance. And think, wait a second, didn't he get suspended 2 weeks ago? Was it just a 1 week suspension? 1 day, you get next week off, Kevin. Come back in 2 weeks. It's okay. So I'm like, wow, that's interesting, because apparently 2 weeks ago, Kevin Owens was a commentator, and he attacked Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Anyways, They start talking. They don't like each other. He wants to punch them all in the face, and they start making fun of Kevin Owens, and they start making fun of LA Knight. And Kevin Owens warned them. He's like, you know the rules. You say their name, they're going to be popping out here. And sure enough, they said LA Knight's name again, and LA Knight came out there. Whoop-de-doo. People love LA Knight. I love LA Knight. He's got some great confidence. He got some great speeches. He's talking down to the old Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And it comes down to who's going to fight who first. Who's going to punch who in the face first. And it is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller thinking about they should attack first. And then it's, Kevin Owens and LA Knight attacking before anything can happen. Yeah, that's right. And Grayson Waller effect doesn't quite end there because it carries on, because now it becomes a tag team match. Your second tag team match. Surprisingly, it was a little bit more cohesive tag team than the first one, than Finn Balor and Damien Priest versus the Street Profits. Bobby Lashley's private party. See, because the tag ropes actually meant something here, even though it doesn't really matter. Ref had almost no control over the match. Well, Ref just had no control. It was pretty sad. This match was about 14 minutes in length. This was a barn burner, knuckle duster. This was all fun. All fun. Now they take the match outside the ring, and LA Knight not just uses, Austin Theory's head as a basketball and dribbles it on the commentating table. His patented move. This is LA Knight's patented move. Usually, I think every single match LA Knight's had so far, they fought outside, and he dribbles his opponent's head onto the commentating table. It is hilarious. It looks ridiculous. It's doing nothing. But anyways, he ends up double dribbling. He gets Grayson Waller and Austin Theory's heads. He starts bouncing them off the commentating table. It is hilarious. The crowd loves it. They go nuts. They were going bananas. Well, not quite bananas, but they did enjoy themselves with that. So, we had moments here, big moments. Kevin Owens with a massive, it's the shooting star, not shooting star, but it's a swanton, crushing Theory in the ring there. And also, Austin Theory, I should believe his Grayson Waller got squashed. Anyways, Austin Theory, he's got this one hell of a, he goes to a roll through. He rolls, and when he gets up after the roll, I'm not sure if he's got that, gives him that much more momentum, his roll. His front roll to the standing drop kick. And his standing drop kick, he could literally tope suicide himself over the top rope. He gets so high with that drop kick. I think Austin Theory can literally do a drop kick himself outside the ring, over the top rope. That's how high he gets. It is crazy. And he drop kicks, not only drop kicks, not the chest area, he drop kicks Kevin Owens' face. Just kicks his, beautiful. Beautiful. Austin Theory, awesome. His athleticism. He gets a standing blockbuster in Kevin Owens. It is Austin Theory. He's one of the greatest out there. He is truly a talent. Now, it's a confusing move. LA Knight, he gets enthusiastic sometimes. I guess maybe this was a spur of the moment move. It's a gut wrench. He gets Austin Theory up, gut wrenches him, and throws him over for a power slam. But instead of going forwards, he jumps backwards. He takes a back bump. I'm like, wow, what exactly is this? This is ridiculous. This is just dumb. I'm like, wow. I was flabbergasted by the insanity of this move being ridiculous. So it was the inverted body slam. It was kind of like, whatever, that's dumb. Anyways, we got a moment where LA Knight stomping a mud hole in both Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the corner there. It was great. What's that? LA Knight with his patented standing elbow drop off the ground. He goes off he bounces off the ropes there, but it's really helping with the height going upwards. He gets up there really good. He gets right even with the top rope. Best standing elbow in the business, I think, one of them. Okay, now the end sequence is this. Referees completely lost track of everything. Forget about it. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they're really in the ring as a team now. So Austin Theory picks up LA Knight for his A-Town down. Hell, why not have Kevin Owens come in there, saving LA Knight from the A-Town. Then I guess Austin Theory, Grayson Waller pushed together. And then Grayson Waller is then stunnered, put out of the match by Kevin Owens. And then it's a blunt force trauma onto Austin Theory. Now, Austin Theory, you can tell he does not like taking his head bumps like that. Or he just wants to set up for a really good head bump. You know, because he guides his head down with his hand. You know, makes sure he does a headstand. So it's nice. You know, a little bit too foreseeing what's going to happen. Anyway, so moving next, we go backstage, and it's with some Bianca Belair with some Becky Lynch. And she's talking about history and stuff like that between Becky and Charlotte. How they're not in the best of terms. So does the, storyline. You know, kayfabe storyline. You know, they're not in best terms. They've got a history. But it's like, you know what, you got to basically, paraphrasing here, you got to put your history aside, move past it. Because look at me and you. Me and you. You know, look at our history. And look at us now. Look at us now. We're like best buddies. See, they're working together. That's what happens when you turn the other cheek. So then she tries to get Becky Lynch on a thing. Let's go. We're a team here. So with that, we go to the ring. And it's sad. It's sad in a way, in a very big way. It's Carlito. Carlito with his first in-ring promo in a solo promo, and God knows how long. Anyways, he's talking about this. It's his first premium live event. This will be his first premium live event in almost 13 years. 13 years, you know. And he wants revenge for Rey Mysterio over what Santos Escobar had done to him. And he has a message with Santos Escobar in Latin, in Spanish. So he talks to him. He has a certain message for him. And then it's the Legado del Fantasma music hits. Oh, yeah. It is Santos Escobar. You know, I think finally I can cheer for Santos again. Not really. I mean, Santos, he was one of my favorites until he started. He got these team members, and he got diluted, too diluted. Anyway, Santos goes out there, and he's mean mad. He's so angry, and he talks about, he blames, what happened to Rey Mysterio on Carlito. He talks about. Well, anyways, before that, he's like, the heat, Santos Escobar's got is great. I guess if you backstab Rey Mysterio, you got instant heat. It's crazy. Who knew? Who knew Rey Mysterio could command such, crowd response? Anyways, so it comes down to this. This is, they both claim Rey Mysterio is family. He's family. And then Carlito says, Santos is like, you know what? I started LWO, he's part of LWO, and we were family. You were the outsider. An outsider. Because you're not Mexican. You're, you're Puerto Rican. He didn't say any of that. They're both Spanish. So anyways, you're the outsider. So, and he starts blaming Carlito for everything that's happened to Rey Mysterio. It's your fault. And Carlito wouldn't have any of it because Santos threw the microphone at Carlito saying, "You're supposed to attack me now, you fool." Yeah! He didn't say that, but Carlito was sleeping on the job. And then Carlito attacks. He starts beating up some Santos Escobar outside the ring. He's the ground and pound on Santos. And then we got the officials coming in there. Absolutely nowhere in sight is Nick Aldis. Mm-hmm. He had a taped recording backstage, but he's not here today. Nick Aldis, he's about as present as Roman Reigns. Anyways, so the referees stop, the officials stop the beatdown, and Santos leaves, but he comes back because Carlito wanted back after him. He comes through the crowd and he attacks Carlito. Santos comes through the crowd and attacks Carlito, jumps off the top there. He just gives him a massive knee to the back. And then next, they break it up again. Later on, you find that Carlito is backstage getting helped out. And then it's Santos Escobar attacks again with attack. But it is Dragon Lee. He comes in, saves Carlito. And that's what's going on with that. So Dragon Lee saves Carlito. So something's happening there. Is Carlito injured? Maybe. So we move on to our next match. It is another tag team match in the men's division. It is pretty deadly. Elton Prince, Kit Wilson versus the Brawling Bruits, Butch and Ridge Holland. And I've called it. I said this is the end, my friend. Brawling Bruits. I think Ridge Holland can do a lot better on his own. Ridge Holland's got a great look. He's a handsome man. He's a giant guy. You can tell he's intelligent because he's got some good mic skills. When he's given the chance, he knows how to talk on the microphone. I think Ridge Holland has potential, has a lot of potential in him. I think when he goes on his own, Ridge Holland had the greatest theme music of all of wrestling in the NXT. So, what's going to happen in this match? This match was awfully short, really short, 3.5 minutes, and a lot is spoken in this match. A lot has been told in this match. Right off the bat, when things go downhill, because this match was, like I say, 3.5 minutes. Early on in the match, they do their patented move, the Brawling Brutes. They do the tandem. 10 beats of the Finn Balor. 10 beats of the Finn Balor. Just beating them on the ropes there. But here's the thing. Here's where things fall apart. It is Elton Prince. He breaks out of it. He ends up choking, Butch against the ropes. He drops down. He chokes out Butch. He falls backwards. And then it's Ridge Holland getting all pissed off. And he looks over. He's like, well, I guess I'll finish it off then. He goes over there. He tries to clubber some Elton Prince. But it's Kit Wilson. He comes over and he kicks him right in the face. Kicks him right in the face with the double kick. Ridge Holland falls out of the ring, and he's not tagged in. He tagged out already. So he leaves the ring there, and it's Butch versus Pretty Deadly by himself. And Butch was getting beaten up for a little bit, and then he finally gets some time, some air to get some tagging out. But it's Ridge Holland. He's outside the ring there. He doesn't want any part of Butch. And he leaves him high and dry in the ring. And I guess that's adios for the Brawling Brutes. Now, I thought the Brawling Brutes might be going on in the NXT with, Tyler Bate joining, Butch as the tag team and Ridge Holland going on as the leader of the Brawling Brutes. But I'm probably wrong on that. And it looks like I'm completely wrong on it. So in the ring, however, which is shocking because usually when a backstab happens like that, when a person left in the ring, usually the match ends like that. It's over, just a roll-up, done. Okay, I thought that was going to happen because in the ring there, Pretty Deadly gets Butch into a tandem move. It's Elton Prince getting him in a fireman's carry, tossing him over, and then it's Kit Wilson with the massive lung blower onto Butch. But however, Butch fights on. He kicks out and he starts, he starts handling himself. He starts handling the Pretty Deadly, beating them both up, including he gets an opportunity for a pinning opportunity on Elton Prince. However, things get crazy. Butch tries to dismember the fingers of Elton Prince. They back up a little bit, and it's Kit Wilson gets a blind tag in. Unbeknownst to Butch, Butch gets the bitter end onto Elton Prince. Doesn't matter, he's the legal man. Behind them all, it's Kit Wilson with the crucifix pin. The crucifix pin onto Butch, and like I expected, the Pretty Deadly winning, and the Brawling Brutes lose with a roll-up. That's right. And I always say whoever loses to a roll-up is the most embarrassing way to lose. Taking it in the rear. It's like taking it in the rear. Okay, anyways, moving on. We go backstage again. It's with a little bit of a shotzi with Charlotte. And she's trying to, they're having a conversation about when Shotzi got her hair, when she shaved her hair, It was Charlotte Flair who said, "You look beautiful, beautiful," and it lift her spirits up. And then she tries to correlate that to being friends with Becky Lynch. Just get along, get along. She didn't cry, but she might as well have. Anyway, so moving on, we go, I guess, a pre-taped segment. Who knows when it was taped? It's with Kayla Braxton, with Nick Aldis and Kayla Braxton. And the news is this: Carlito is injured and will not be able to wrestle in his first, premium live event in almost 13 years. So Carlito will not be at the premium live event. It's too important for Carlito, apparently. So instead, replacing Carlito will be Dragon Lee. So Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. That can only be the match of the night. Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar. I'm calling it match of the night. It's going to be a barn burner, a slobber knocker. This will be a knuckle duster, if they give them the proper time, of course. Moving on, we go backstage still, the pre-match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Try and get on the same page. I'm fiery. I'm an Irish. I'm fiery. I got a lot of hustle. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, yeah. Becky Lynch. Anyway. Now, this match here was about 12 minutes long. This is, a tag team match. Is Damage Control's Bayley and Asuka versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. This was a lot of fun still. They got some big moves where the Damage Controls, Bayley and Asuka was outside the ring, and Charlotte Flair does her patent. She gets on the top rope and does a backflip off the top rope. She lands on her feet right next to both, right in between Bayley and Asuka, and they tumble down like they should. Now here's the thing. Charlotte Flair, when she does get tagged in, it was all, Becky Lynch. Charlotte gets tagged in. She goes, what her favorite thing to do? She goes off the top rope with a massive high fly crop body press, and she goes all out. I don't think you can possibly jump any higher than Charlotte Flair jumps off these high cross bodies. It is a thing of beauty, a thing of absolute beauty. She squashes both Bayley and Asuka. Now, here's another move Charlotte likes doing. It's the step over clothesline. I guess it looks nice. I don't know. She does a step over, so it's a move. It's like, wow, she's doing something. She's doing an athletic move. But here's a problem with that. As soon as she gets back on her feet, all the momentum is lost. All of it, it's gone. And then she just hits him with the arm. She hits Bayley with the arm. Now, here's what Bayley's great at. She's got, not only Bayley is the most curvaceous woman in SmackDown, but she's also great at working with her opponent. So she's working all this. So she's basically getting her arse kicked a lot. Her arse kicked. Her, anyways. So yeah, eventually, Charlotte gets a tag out, because things can turn around, and Becky Lynch comes back in the ring there, and Becky Lynch takes care of both Asuka and Bayley. He was hilariously good. He was fun, a lot of fun. Now Charlotte Flair, she went off the top rope with a massive high cross body, and she went from the heavens. This is Montez Ford would be proud of this. This is beautiful. Then Becky Lynch, well, she can't be outdone, so she's got to do a top rope move too. Now here's the thing, Becky Lynch, she loves to go off the top rope. She's very, she's got a lot of hustle in her bony body. So her top rope move, she does dropkick. Now, the only thing you can say is, yes, Becky Lynch went to the top rope, but Becky Lynch never gets height. She goes completely vertical. Somehow she managed to go vertical for the dropkick. It's like, wow, that is a skill on its own. You might just go to the second rope and get good bounce off that, make it look cool. But no, it's Becky Lynch. But hey, I complain about Becky, but she, a one-on-one Becky Lynch match with anybody, she just has she can make it, I don't know. So now here we go. It's Corey Graves who calls it. It's the disarmor. Becky Lynch gets disarmor onto Bayley. Finally, it's disarmor. It wasn't an armbar. It was a disarmor, legitimate. But here we go. Asuka comes in, breaks up the thing. Now this is the end of the match, end sequence here. Asuka comes in, kicks Becky Lynch in the head. They scrap some more. Becky Lynch and Bayley, and then eventually Bayley gets the recipient. She's a recipient of a manhandle slam, the rock bottom, a weak ass Uranagi. I mean, the Becky Lynch Uranagi is weak looking. It is weak. So she nicks down Bayley. She goes to the pin. Now here's where things get all a little crazy. Is Asuka, she tries to attack Charlotte instead of breaking up the pin. But I guess if she breaks up the pin again, it'll be a disqualification. Anyways, so she goes to attack Charlotte. Charlotte spears Asuka right onto Becky Lynch and Bayley. And Becky Lynch takes a exception to that. She's got like a little bit of bleeder in her mouth. Bleeding lip. She probably bit that lip, Anyways, she's upset with Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, she was complaining about something. And then it's Bayley finishing off the job, clobbering Becky Lynch in the back. She clobbering Charlotte like dominoes. Charlotte falls outside the ring there, and then it's one quick schoolgirl roll up Bayley rolls up. Becky Lynch. So many roll-ups today. So many roll-ups. But it is Becky Lynch losing the most embarrassing way possible. The roll-up. Taking it in the rear by Becky Lynch. A regular schoolgirl. A regular schoolgirl roll-up. So, and so now we got some conflict. Becky Lynch is all upset. Yeah, things are falling apart. Things have fallen off the rails for Team Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair. Will they be a cohesive unit at War Games? Maybe. I think they're probably going to win. Damage control. It doesn't matter if they lose. There's nothing on the line. Anyways, that wraps up with this episode of SmackDown and concludes the wrestling show. Now, for our podcast listeners, if you stuck around to the very end, I hold a very special place in my heart just for you. And as for our YouTube audience, stay tuned for there will be another episode, another time, just like our podcast listeners. So stay tuned for next week. Will be some The Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Lip Hazlewood, saying I'll see you next time.